assignments through any of our instructional tools and resources, while we as teachers and educators work in small groups with students who simply need more time with intervention. And so you are going to receive a lot of information from our instructional services support team. You are going to receive a lot of tools and resources to support you with the instructional design of our program for this year. Just know that we're in this together. Let's support each other. Let's be there for each other, and let's work together to make the very best and strongest instructional program for our students. So once again, thank you very much. I look forward to learning with you this week, and I look forward to a successful school year. Thank you.
All right. So on our agenda today, we're going to have our introduction, our norms, core priorities, learning intentions, and success criteria. Our math behaviors, those are just those mathematical practices that we've been working on the last couple of years. And then we're going to go into our key essential standards. Those are the standards that the district has deemed our students need in order to be successful this year. Finally, we'll get into our lesson design, how the lessons have been designed for you, what you can expect to see, some ideas for you to use in your classroom, where you can find those lessons in the EdTech Center, and lastly, your exit ticket, which is your evaluation and sign out, and those will be linked the last 10 minutes before the end of PD. So please make sure you do your sign out so you get paid. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this fun little new interactive thing that we're using. If you have not been introduced to Jamboard before, this is called Jamboard. It's a smart display digital whiteboard that you can use with your students. I like to use it as for thinking maps. So I'm going to click on the white box in the presentation, and it's going to take me to the one I already created. And I'm going to show you how to use this. And when you get a chance, or if you already know how to use it, go ahead and put your sticky on the Jamboard. If you run out of room, you can go to the top up here, and you can make another page, and you can minimize it and go back and forth between the pages to put your sticky note on. So I'm going to put my sticky note on. I'm just going to tell you my name. Hi, my name is Nicole, and I work at William Penn. And then you can change your color of your sticky and save it. And then you're just going to move it out of the way so I can see Claudia's. You can make it as big or as small as you want. You can move it around. She added a Bitmoji, so I'll probably do that. You can also add pictures on here. If there's a picture you want to add from your drive, you can write on here if you'd rather write with a pen, which I can't do with a mouse, but you get the idea. You can erase that. So you guys can add your sticky note on here. However you want to do it. I can still keep moving around. If I'm like, oh, I don't want to put that there, I can click the 3 buttons and delete it. I can duplicate it again. So it's up to you. So if you get a chance, can you please on the presentation, click on the white Jamboard link, and it will take you to this page, and please introduce yourself to us. I'll give you guys a few minutes.
So for those of you that are trying Jamboard for the first time, if you see the little share button, Ms. Nicole, can you look at that little share button up there?
Right here.
If you click on it, it's just like BCSD stuff. So you have to change anyone with Bakersfield have access to edit. If you give them access to view, they can only view, not edit.
See, you would have to click change, and you can change them from viewer or editor. If they don't put editor, they cannot add anything on there. So that is important. I'm going to add my little Bitmoji on here. Make your little sticky. And what's awesome about Jamboard while you're doing that is when you first sign into Jamboard, there's a lot already created. So you can go and borrow other people's Jamboards that they have already made. So that is pretty awesome because I don't want to recreate things that other people have already done. So, ooh, I see some teachers at MLK. I'm excited for you guys. New school, that's awesome. I see my coworker. Hey, Monica. Ooh, I see lots. Ooh, people adding some pages. I like it. So you can add pages. I'm going to scroll through. So then just make sure you move it off the top of other ones or we can't read them. See how they kind of all stack on top of each other? We need to be able to see you. So it's just something cool that your students will probably enjoy. They can put their little emoji in their pictures, and then you can make, like I said, a thinking map, and they can put their stickies on there. You can do a notice or wonder, which we will be doing later. Just something a little different. I use a lot of sticky notes in my class, so it's just something that I would normally do in my class anyway. So it kind of brings my classroom onto online, into the virtual setting. So just an idea, we will be doing Jamboard a couple more times throughout the presentation to get you guys a little more familiar. And we are happy to answer any of the questions you may have about Jamboard. If you're just struggling with it, please email Claudia or myself and we'll be happy to help you. So it was really awesome seeing everybody on there. Hello. It's got some Bitmojis on there. Bitmojis are my thing right now, friends. I have to tell you, I like my Bitmojis. Okay, so virtual PD norms, please make sure you are muted unless you are sharing. Use a chat box if you have any questions pertaining to the presentation. Please be patient with us. I am a teacher, so this is not my normal C for me. And please be positive, that'd be great. BCSD norms, BCSD has their own set of norms. Please celebrate the individual, the team, and all of our successes. Be engaged, focus, be willing to change the thinking of the group. Engage or encourage and support each other, please, and be open and honest in your feedback. And I move this to the front of the presentation. This document's very important. It's a digital parking lot. So if you click where it says click here in yellow, it will take you to the district's parking lot. What they're wanting us to do is any questions that do not pertain to the actual lessons that we created for 3rd grade would go on here. So if you have questions about, can I get my supplies? Can I get this supplied? Can you offer, you know, I know somebody asked if they could offer a digital pen to us. Any of those types of questions, I don't know the answer to because I am a teacher. So put those questions on the parking lot and I'll give them some ideas of things you guys need and want. Really the only questions that Claudia and I really can answer in the chat are things like, okay, how did you do that Jamboard? Or how did you find this lesson? Or can you repeat the number of the day? Or those kind of things. So if you have any questions about assessments, the calendar, materials, how your kids are going to get materials, internet issues that your students may have, please put those in the parking lot so that we can forward those to Ms. Chapman. So that link is here on slide 8. And very important, probably the most important thing you guys want to hear is that the sign out is the last 10 minutes before the session is over and you need to complete the evaluation. We will put both of those in the chat room at the end. You do need to be signed in as a BCSD employee or you cannot even access the links. So please make sure you fill those out so you do get paid. And if you do end up having trouble signing out, please let Claudia or myself know and we can forward your name to Esmeralda for you. And our BCSD core priorities. We are still a culture of collective efficacy, a culture of teaching and learning, a culture of student-centered schools, and a culture of access and inclusion to ensure a multi-tiered system of supports for all learners. Right now, that BCSD core priority number 4 is very important. Everybody is new to this kind of learning, and so we are all learners, and so we're trying our best to support each other and our students in the best of our abilities. Next, BCSD's purpose for this Summer Institute is to provide you and all of us, the teaching staff, support and exemplary models in implementing a hybrid or fully virtual classroom. The whole goal that we had this summer in creating your lessons was to make sure that you're not as stressed as you need to be, that we're there for you, we're a team, we're gonna work together, we're giving you some tools, some ideas. The lessons that were created are not the end all be all. You can use it how you need to. It's just some ideas we're throwing at you to kind of lessen the stress that some of you may be feeling and kind of like have an open dialogue. What can work for you, what you might want to try, just to try to help you guys out. For the purposes of our presentation, our learning intention is to understand the lesson design that we created, the components and purpose for the mathematic learning that includes a balanced approach utilizing math behaviors. And we know you are successful when you can navigate and deliver that rich mathematical instruction, and that students can thrive regardless of their environment or setting, for instance, in the virtual setting that we are currently going to be implementing. And Claudia will be continuing from here.
Yes, hi everyone. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen.
If you do have questions, please put them in the chat and I will be answering those for you guys.
Yes, I was answering some chat questions as well. So we're trying to help you guys as much as we can. I know one of the things was asked, when you log in, you click the invite, but make sure when you log into your computer, you did your BCSD or your Google account in BCSD. That way you guys can have access, especially to that parking lot, because it is through BCSD link only. Okay, so our math behaviors. Throughout our lesson today, we are going to revisit our math behaviors. You guys are gonna see how they're gonna be incorporated. But this math behaviors, we want each student to engage and internalize, to have the best experience like with thinking, reasoning, sense making, and problem solving. We wanna make sure we build their confidence and their strong math identity. And especially through this distance learning that we're gonna be doing with our kids, how do we incorporate those math behaviors? So we're gonna model that for you guys so you guys can see it throughout. But that's our math behaviors for today. So I do have a question for you guys though. One of my questions is, what have you used to draw out math behaviors in your students? And I know we introduced the Jamboard for you guys to, you know, introduce yourselves to us, where you're coming from, how many years of BCSD. But this other tool that we're gonna use is the Padlet. And I promise you, we're not gonna use too many tools. We're just gonna use this two and some Zoom tools for you guys to get used to, but we wanna share with you some different strategies that you guys can use to interact with kids. So the math behaviors, and I know the link was already shared there. You go into the Padlet. So when you go here, if you click the little plus sign, you can answer to the question. You know, as a teacher, one of my norms is the student does put their name, so I know who wrote that message, and then they can write something or answer to the question. So what are the some things that you have done or used to draw out the math behaviors in your students? And it could be something that you did in the past, maybe if you're teaching summer school, or in the spring, or maybe something that you have read about in Twitter or Facebook, anything. So if you visit our Padlet now, you can let me know. And then you can post. So I see some people already adding in our Padlet. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. I see people saying Google Slides as interactive. Yes. Word problems. Questioning and queuing. Yes.
One of the things I do love about Padlet, if you're not very familiar with it, is that I can go on there and I can change the settings for my own students. I can add a comment. You can take that off so other students cannot comment on each other's. You can make it where they can like their comment, kind of like if they were on Twitter. You can also filter out the bad words. So there's a lot of useful tools on Padlet. If you just go on there and just play, you'll have fun. So it's kind of nice. So I can go, yay. You can even have it where they're all anonymous and their names aren't on there. So that's pretty awesome too. So if you want something more anonymous than what we're doing.
Yes. And I see, Stephanie, you knew how to change the color in the little Post-it. Thank you. Yes, that's another feature. You can also have the kids record themselves and answer in Padlet, or even a video. Okay. I see a lot of number talks where people have done to draw out those math behaviors in our students. You know, numberless word problems. Yes. The flip grid, the Google Forms. Yes, especially the Google Forms in this format that we're going to be teaching. It's something that, you know, consider using a lot, especially for that independent practice. Yeah, explain, work with their partners, close line math, manipulatives. Yes. Asking those guiding questions, thank you. Explain solutions to the groups. Yes. Perfect, thank you. Thank you for answering our little Padlet with our question, and I'll come back and read some more of your responses.
One of them had a question about how to add the comment. So if you're in Padlet, I can set it up as a, let me go to it. Well, she can show you while I'm telling you.
Okay, right here, if you see my little Bitmoji right here, I can click on Joyce. She's typing, and I can go ahead and respond to Joyce's comment. I can say, you know, something like, great, or great idea. And then that will go in under her comment, and then we can go back and forth. So
And you can
click.
And you can also, if you don't want comments, you can change that when you create it. So I put where on mine, when I made this, I made it so that others can comment, and that's just something you easily click off. You just click the little button and it takes it off, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yes. All righty, so moving along, thank you for sharing. So another thing that we are going to discuss, especially through our model lesson, it's how do we elicit and use that student thinking. So again, providing a little bit of the resource that we have done before is giving you guys a little bit of the principles to action. This time we link the books. You guys have access to the book, but this is where we get our information from. And so on teacher and student actions for eliciting and using evidence of student thinking, we want to know what students are understanding, what they are thinking, what they are misunderstanding. And again, when we question them, when they're collaborating with their groups, when we have them justify their answer, even submitting their, you know, their work, we can go ahead and look and see what misunderstandings do they have, what understandings. And also, as we plan and collaborate with our teams, this can guide us in how to integrate those tools of questioning or having our students clarify about the students' thinking and learning. You know, are we gonna use some sentence frames for support? What type of questions are we gonna ask? And things like that. So just a little side note, last month we provided a 2-hour PD around eliciting a student thinking in a virtual setting. And so we focus a lot on using that flip grid and that multiple representation as one way to gather that evidence. Okay, so just keeping those things in mind. Again, like I said before, going in through this format of virtual distance learning. Any questions, Ms. Craig? No?
The only question we're having is a Jamboard. I know some people were having trouble with that. It is capped at 30 people, but since we currently have 44 in our session, it's going to be difficult for everybody to get on. So as soon as you put your sticky note on the Jamboard for today's purposes, if you can close out of that so somebody else has a chance to get in there.
Yes, and I used Jamboard in the summer when I was teaching, you know, and it's limited to 30, 35. So I had no problem with my students. It was great. We started noticing that when we did our PD over 40 people, we started noticing that problem. So one of the things that we're gonna do as we continue to use the Jamboard, we're gonna put you in breakout rooms and then you'll be working in groups. That way you guys can all have access to that. Or one person from your group will have access and then type everybody's response. But yes. All right, so we are going to move on. Here we have our key essential standards. And I'm gonna have you guys do a little collaboration in breakout rooms in a few minutes. But before that, I'm gonna click on the Key Central Standard for 3rd grade, and it's gonna take me to this document. And one of the things is, I know some people have asked before, if you see on the left hand, you have the subtitle for ELA and math, but some people don't have that yet. If you do, if you click on the math, it's gonna take you straight to the math document. And let me go ahead and enlarge so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go over, maybe I'll do a little bit bigger. Okay, so 150, I know, and I'm gonna move this a little bit so you guys can follow along with me. And I believe it's like on page 18, if you don't have the little subtitle, and you can click on page 18. So what we did with our little, math essential standards, right? And I'm gonna have you guys navigate this in a few minutes. We link the California framework here. You guys do have the 3 units, the BCSD units here for additional information. We started with, we call it the 3 days. We could find math or something to do with math for the first 3 days to set up the norms in your classroom, whatever it is. You guys are gonna start noticing how we're starting the month of August. We're starting with the 2nd grade standard and so on. So what I'm gonna let you do is I'm gonna let you explore this document. And as you are exploring this document, be thinking about some notices and some wonders, okay? And what we are going to do is we do have another Jamboard. So we're gonna give you guys the link to that Jamboard. And you go into the notice and wonder. And this time, when you go into the Jamboard, you are going to be in breakout rooms. So you would do this with your groups. In whatever breakout room you're in, that's the slide that you're gonna use. So if you're in breakout room number 2, you would use slide 2. If you're in breakout room number 3, you would use slide 3, and so on, okay? So one person from your breakout room can start putting your information. That way everybody have access to Jamboard. Sorry, it's limited. And so let me go ahead and put you guys in breakout rooms. And I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Okay. There we go.
I can, oh geez.
Sorry.
We have to. Third key, I'm going to share those.
Sorry, ladies, I have my video off because I also have this one over here.
Oh, that is
I
fine.
have to be handling her, but hi.
Well, babies are I love babies, but mine are at the daycare because, yeah.
She want to be on the computer, and I'm just trying to. My book is almost here.
It is okay. You can tell me if there's something you notice that I did share the third key essential standards with you.
All right, page 19. Is it 3.08.1?
Yeah, so, but I'm assuming, like, I mean, to look at it as a complete overview, we would have to look at September, which is a continuation of, or previously on page 18.
Okay, so go up. Review.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask for help button. I push the ask for help button, but I don't see anything. I don't see the Jamboard. I don't see the standards. All I see is you guys and nothing else. So I don't know how I'm supposed to participate here.
We noticed that we're starting with second grade standard addition and subtraction. We noticed that it's hard to find the essential standards.
Yes.
So click on your chat.
We wonder.
If you click on the chat, your chat little box at the bottom, you'll see a little chat. You will see Ms. Nicole Craig. She said third key essential standards link. She shared that with you guys.
I don't see that at all.
There's nothing in the chat. There's nothing. It's white.
There's parking lot and there's the Jamboard.
Yeah.
Not in mine. It's blank, white blank.
Okay, let me share that with you, Pam, right now. Let me see if I can share. Oh, it would only let me do it with everyone right now. Okay, so let me do it with everyone and see if now you can.
Okay, there's a link.
Okay, so click on it. That is for your essential standards.
Double click.
Just one click.
No, just one click.
Nothing happens when I click.
No, just the Jamboard came up.
Your Jamboard.
What were we? Group 8?
Crap.
Was
I thought we
that
were group 1.
I have not been able to do anything since
Really?
I got.
I thought we were 8. Did anybody
at 1 o'clock. We are 8.
Yeah,
I see.
Room 8.
yeah, you
Well,
guys are group 8.
Okay, we noticed, didn't you want to add anything? We noticed that we're starting the second grade addition subtraction. We wonder how to find standards, and some cannot find the Jamboard, group 8.
Yes.
Pam, I'm gonna add right now the key essential standards. Give me a second. I'll have to leave and
I
come
can't even, it doesn't even work. I'm trying to click on this link and nothing happens. Nothing.
Ooh, if Joy gets on this, well, she's on the other thing. She can share her page and we can see what she's seeing.
Yes. Joy, can you share your page? You can.
How?
There's a bottom, at the bottom middle, it says share screen.
Okay, let me reduce this down then. Nope, and now I only see you and I lost that. Okay.
That is
Nothing.
like, you know what? This is the beauty because we will be exploring through this together. So yes.
Okay, well now I shared it and now I don't know what happened to it.
I see the link.
Geez. Okay,
Nothing.
share screen, but now that screen, I need to shrink this screen because I had only that screen.
Yeah, you would have to shrink your screen. And
So
then
I
we'll
need
show you
to,
guys
there's
how
the
to find all that
Jamboard. I need to shrink it also. Oh, nope, it went away again.
Let's see, I never saw the, in the chat, I didn't see it for the essential standards. I just got the Jamboard again.
Yeah,
Okay, so
let me
now
go for the essentials. Oh, I'll be back.
I have them both here. And now, so how do I share my, oh, share screen?
Yes.
Okay, and it should share both. Okay, we'll
Yep.
see. And what, share with everybody?
Nope, just our group.
Just our group.
Okay, I just shared it. Did you get it?
Yep.
Well, I
You
got
should have a
an
split
outdoor
screen.
scene. Oh, wait, okay.
Well, oh, you got the outdoor scene?
And I've got you. What did you notice?
Well, you should have had the actual presentation page and that's what I had up at the time. I don't know what happened.
I see both of the links, but nothing happens when I click them. If I copy and paste them into a new window, will that work?
This is the
Yes,
one I
that works.
typed.
That works, Pam, yes.
Let me
But
see.
how do you make them bigger once you type them?
Drag it.
It
There.
didn't want to drag. I kept, oh, there it did. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Hi, Claudia.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I wasn't logged in as BCSD, so I logged out and logged back in as BCSD, and I was in breakout room 11.
Okay, great. Yeah, and you guys are coming back. I know I'm in DNet right now because, but were you able to look at the essential standards for a little bit?
No, because I wasn't logged in, so I wasn't able to grab it. So that's why I logged out and back. So now I'm BCSD, so I'm good now.
Okay, okay, so now you guys can access. I'm gonna put the link one more time for the essential standards, but in a little bit, we are going to show you guys where to find them. Because you guys will have a place to find all of this. Right now, we're just showing, going over all of this with you guys. But yes, we're definitely gonna show you where to find it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and I know we're having you guys navigate through multiple windows, and we apologize for that, but that is something with the virtual distance learning that we're gonna have to get used to, is having our Zoom open and then navigating through the windows so we can, when we're teaching our students, we can be more efficient with that. And it takes practice. You're not gonna mess anything up in Zoom, I promise. You won't break anything. You might freeze your computer for a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. Okay, so thank you for joining us. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen one more time just because I wanna look at some of you guys' notice and wonders, and maybe we can clarify some of the questions that you guys have, especially with the essential standards. The colors on the essential standards, I noticed what colors mean. The blue ones are the additional and supporting standards, and the ones in regular color, there are the major standards, and that's all it is. It's just the blue ones are those additional and supporting that we've been talking about for a little while. That doesn't mean they're not important. What we're saying is that they're prerequisites for the major standards. They still have to be taught, but sometimes we spend less time on those than we do on the actual standards. What is the iMath? You guys will see on the EdTech what we have added for you guys to do with math the first 3 days. So we'll be talking about that. I did have some people that they noticed that you will start with second grade standards. And again, knowing that our kids left in the spring, second grade standards were not covered, right, through the full, for them to master that full content. So as third grade teachers, just keeping that in mind. I'm not saying go back and teach all the second grade standards. What I'm saying is you look at the skills that they miss, and let's say you're gonna be teaching place value to the thousands, but in second grade, they only do it to the hundreds. Then you as the third grade teacher, you're not gonna start at the thousands because you're looking at what skill they missed. You're gonna start at the hundreds and just move forward. Keeping that in mind, that's the reason why we put those skills in there and those prerequisites. The prerequisites are for them to master that standard. Okay, so yes, they will start with the second grade. We also notice, yes, the standards are being chunked in time, so kind of like a pacing. So we included that. The the construction of the standard or the skills that we pull, they come straight from the framework, framework notes. And it's really for the students to master the content. So when we teach those skills, we know we're teaching to the full rigor of the standard. Okay. Yes. And pacing, the pacing schedule. If you look at Unit 1 in the unit, or if you guys look at the year at a glance standards before, they haven't changed. It's the same standards for Unit 1, the same standards for Unit 2, same standards for Unit 3. The only difference right here in this document is that we included months and weeks. So kind of chunk it down a little bit more to help you and support you during your planning. All right, do we have any other questions?
Over the blue and black, I know some of them were asking the difference in the colors.
Yeah, it's the additional and supporting. So the blue are additional and supporting standards, and the black are your majors. So again, additional and supporting, they are prerequisite for the major standards. So sometimes you don't spend too much time on those, meaning that you don't spend 2-3 weeks on additional and supporting when that's a prerequisite for your major standard. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it.
And then there was also another question on wonder if those weeks are basically set in stone, or can they be adjusted based on the needs of the students?
They can be adjusted to the base to meet the needs of the students. Definitely, you and your PLC will come together. You guys are gonna collaborate. You guys are gonna plan. You guys been doing this for years. We're just giving you kind of like a scope and sequence. If you don't want to start with that standard because that's not where your kids are at, please, by all means, you change and modify anything. Even the lessons that we're going to give you right now and the one we're going to model, we're not telling you this is the way to teach. We're giving you the floor and we're giving you something to start with. And that way, from there, you guys can build it on. You guys are phenomenal teachers. You guys are going to create great things with this. So everything that we're sharing today, just keep that in mind. It is the floor. Good questions. Thank you. All right. So before we move on, we just want to take a little moment to like a little mindful break. I'm going to have you guys read this quote. So one of the things that I do take from this quote is empathy. You know, especially in the situation that we're in the situation that our kids are going to be in, you know, having that empathy as we're teaching, we are communicating with families. Patience, it's going to be a lot of patience, a lot of love. Okay. All right. So here's our daily lesson. So what we did from those key essential standards that you guys just looked at, what we did as a team, we collaborated, we met together, not just CNI, but other teachers with the same grade level. We created some sample lessons, the one that we're going to be delivering today to you guys in this virtual format. So I'm going to click on this sample lesson, but we are gonna show you in a little bit where you guys can find it. Ms. Craig is gonna go over that after the model lesson, but I'm just gonna click and I'm gonna show you guys the sample of this model lesson. Okay, so with this model lesson, what we did is we look at the standard, and this one is week 2, not week 1, but we are gonna focus on a 3rd grade week 2. We put the standard, the target, right? What the standard means too, using that place value. We pulled those skills that you guys saw in the skills that you saw in the essential standards are here, you know, estimating, using number lines, 100 charts. You guys will see a learning intention as success criteria. Again, as a grade level team, you can change, modify the learning intention. You don't want to use that one, that is perfectly fine. Success criteria, by all means, yes, you guys can change and modify this however you want. We give some vocabulary here that we're gonna be focusing on, some sentence frames to support our EL students, right? And not just our EL, but all of our students when they're speaking, when they're collaborating, when they're engaging with others. We do have an intro. You know, we kind of started with either a number talks or math talks or some type of routine that you can start with your class, especially with the intro, and we'll model this today. And sometimes we tell you, don't spend no more than 10 minutes on an intro. It's very simple. It's a number sense routine that you would do with your kids every day, okay? So we added some in there. And you guys will see the actual lesson, the modeling, the think aloud. You guys have some resources. Now, this lesson is for you, the teacher, to see and go through. But in the lesson, you guys will see the links to, oh, here's the lesson that I will be teaching. Oh, here is the document that my students will be using today to, you know, complete after I taught this lesson. Here's vocabulary resources that my kids can use as well, that they will need if I meet with them in a small group instruction and things like that. Here's all the resources put together. We kind of told you, hey, this is for you, teacher slides. But this is, if you want to use this, you can make a copy for each student on their Google Classroom, and every student can have a copy of this. They can use it, write on it, whatever they want. And we give you some digital manipulatives as well and things like that. So this is what the sample model lesson would look like. And you do have Monday through Friday on there, 1 week of MBT1, okay? So just giving a little bit more on that, we just wanted to show, you know, daily what each component is and highlight a few selections. Again, I cannot emphasize enough that with your PLCs, you can modify, change anything that you guys feel in the lesson. You have it, make a copy of it, duplicate it, it's yours. So one of the things that we added was especially the item specs. I know you guys have looked for them in the unit before, but this time we added them and copy and paste them right to the lesson or right to that standard, so you guys can have them, you know, decide if you're gonna use those with your students, either to create a formative assessment or anything like that, okay? We have, like I said, sentence frames, vocabulary. The presentation is there for you guys. It has all the components that you need for the learning of the day. And we are actually gonna go over one, so I don't wanna go too much on this. Any questions, Ms. Craig, that we have on this so far? She's monitoring my chat, that's why
Yes,
I'm
I am. No, they seem to like the lesson plans. So as you know, I put in there reiterating, make it your own. Somebody yesterday asked, well, do I have to do that exit that way with paper? What if my student doesn't have paper? No, you can do a flip grade. You can make it a slide. You don't even have to do that exit. It is literally just something for you to have an idea if you're feeling overwhelmed, like, okay, I can use this today. And, you know, I want to add maybe a video. Like I personally will probably videotape myself in front of my class doing the lesson, and then I might throw in the exit, and I might use this slide when I push it out to my students and have them watch me teach on a video. So it is however you want to use it. It's just some ideas, some things to make your life a little easier so you can breathe and you're okay. We can do it.
Yes, we can do this. So please allow me to model a lesson for you guys. The model lesson that I included in there, our MBT standard for 3rd grade. So allow me to put you in the student's seat. So I will be the teacher modeling, you'll be my students. So we're gonna go through how it would look in your classroom, virtually, distance learning. All right, okay. I'm gonna ask you to be engaged throughout, so be ready for participation. So some of the resources that you guys will see in this lesson, you already look at Jamboard and you are trying to get to it. We're gonna use it in this lesson again. I want you guys to feel comfortable with Jamboard, okay? So we're gonna play with it a little bit more. We're gonna use some virtual manipulatives. And our Zoom tools that we will use today are our breakout rooms. Like I put you already in some breakout rooms, we'll continue to use those. And some annotation tools. And I will show you guys how to get to your annotation tools in just a second. Okay, so those are the things that you guys will see.
And then on the end of the regular presentation, not the model, this is the model lesson, I did link this in the chat room. At the end of the green presentation, the one we started with, there is a whole page of links for you. Yes. So don't be like, oh my gosh, where do I get the Flipgrid? And it's all on page, I think it's 26, slide 26. So even the digital manipulatives, I linked it all on there. So you guys can feel free to save it and use it later.
Yes, and we're gonna go over those in a few minutes, but thank you. So for my online classroom norms, this is my online classrooms. Be on time, be prepared to learn. Mute yourself, be sure to mute your microphone when joining the class. Turn on your cameras. I would love to see your happy faces today. And that way I know you're with me. Track the speaker. Be focused, pay attention, be an active participant. And then if we are using the chat, I ask you to use the chat respectfully, ask questions in the chat, and we are going to share our ideas through chat today. All right, so our agenda for today. Today we will explore the place value of digits in 3-digit numbers. And we will be doing some vocabulary. We're gonna be doing some skip counting routines. We're gonna work together with a place value chart, and we're gonna work on expanded form. In some of the resources, this is for you guys teachers here, the resources, but for students, homework, independent work. I have some independent work that I will link in your Google Classroom that you guys will have to complete after this lesson. And the student expanded form, and you guys will see it in the Google Classroom. And also I included some vocabulary resources for help and support. Tomorrow, we will continue writing numbers in expanded form. All right, so looking at our vocabulary, I'm gonna give you guys a second. We have hundreds. And when we have our little hundreds, we also call it flats, right? Because we're gonna be manipulating our little tools today. So we'll be manipulating our flats. So here's our hundreds. We have our tens, which we can also call it our rod, but here's our tens. We have our ones, okay? And then our ones, we call it our little small cubes. We will be looking at a place value. So here's our place value chart. We can see where hundreds go. And Ms. Maldonado added something a little extra. 100 equals 10 tens. Ooh. And 110 equals 10 ones. And 1 1, it's 1. So if you guys can do this with me, I know you're muted, but I know you guys are repeating the vocabulary with me. I will say it, and then I'm gonna go like this, and then I want you to say it, okay? So hundreds, hundreds, tens, ones, place value, thank you, flats, rods, small cubes, thank you. And we will be using our vocabulary today. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna start with our little skip counting routine. I'm gonna come out of our present mode because I have to move some tools around. So here we go. Actually, today we are going to be counting by ones. And I want you guys are gonna help me out because we're gonna use our chat. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with 1 cube. Remember our little cube, it's our red one. So I'm gonna count, I'm gonna put it in my 1. So here's 1. And then after 1, we'll move our little next one, which is our 2. And you guys can count in your head with me and see what Ms. Maldonado is doing. Okay, I have a 3 cubes now. So 3, I can do 4. I'm gonna move my 4th one over here. 4. I'm counting, my next number would be 5. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes. Okay, going on to my next one. It's 6. Moving my next cube to 6. Then 7, counting one by one. 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, and I noticed something in our vocabulary. I know that when I got to a 10, I can change that and make it into, can you put your answer in the chat? What can I change that to? I want to see if you remember that vocabulary.
You have a lot of rods.
Yes, and we have a lot of rocks. And guess what? I am going to take all those ones and I'm going to put my rod, just like you guys said, because that makes my group of 10 right there. Great. Thank you. Now, teachers, I'm going to go back to teachers real quick. If you run out, don't feel, you guys can make copies, or here, if you want a color, you can add the color. If you don't want to do the movement, you can go 11, you know, and just add the color. 12, they can see it with you. 13, but today I just did my 10, and tomorrow we can do skip counting, continuing by ones, or maybe we'll skip count by 2s or 5s. You guys will find out tomorrow. We'll continue our routine, okay? Thank you for participating. All right, so my learning intention is that today we will explore the place value of digits and a 3-digit number. We're gonna be using a place value chart. And our success criteria is that you guys can write numbers in many different ways. So I know you're successful when you can write those numbers in different ways, okay? One of the notes that I have for today is how are we gonna behave like that mathematician today? And I want you guys to see Ms. Maldonado is focusing on mathematical practice number 1, that I want you guys to focus with me. We wanna make sense of the problem and persevere in solving it. So you as mathematicians, you are going to explain the meaning of the problem when you're collaborating with your teams today. You guys can ask clarifying questions when you don't understand. That's what good mathematicians do. We are going to find different ways of how we can do our work, okay? We're also gonna be collaborating, communicating, and you know what? When we're communicating with our partners, we're gonna think critically about the math that we have to do. And also, to persevere in solving it, we have to make sense and justify if we need to. So that's what is gonna be our norm for today. We're gonna behave like mathematicians today with our making sense of our problem. All right, so before I move on, I want you guys to help me out. We are gonna use this wonderful tool, which is our little digital base 10 block. And I need you guys to help Ms. Maldonado. How can we build the number 157 using this place value chart? Okay, so I am going to annotate, I'm gonna put my little color, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and write 157 right here. So how can we write our number 157? Do you remember what type of rod can I use, or can I use the flat? What would I put first? So please put your answers in the chat.
Flat.
I see flat, yes, thank you.
1 flat.
1 flat, okay. So I am going to move my 1 flat right here to give me my 100. Now I need my 57. So Knowing that I need my 57, remember what I needed to use after my flat? What was the next one? And how many do I need?
So 5 rods.
I see 5 rods. Yes, thank you. Definitely. So I am going to go ahead and grab my 5 rods. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we got our 150. Now we need 7. So what can I put for my 7? Let me see my chat. Some of you guys are saying already 1 flat, 5 rods, 7 cubes. I love that vocabulary. Yes, 7 cubes, 7 units. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my 7 here. So 1, you can count with me in your head. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, well, here's the beauty of this, because now I can tell you what number we just wrote. So we have 100, so I'm gonna put it here, 100 plus, we had 5 rods, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, plus 50, plus 7 ones or 7 units, and all of those made on number 157. Thank you. All right, thank you for helping me. I'm gonna go ahead and now we're gonna move on. All right. Now the beauty of this, that it saves, so you guys can, when you use your annotation, you can clear it and clear all drawings and it goes away. Okay, just so you guys know, this is tools coming from Zoom. So moving on to my next lesson. You guys just saw we made the number 157 with Ms. Maldonado. Remember that? There it is. You guys were good about helping me make my 100 and my 5 tens, 3, 4, and 5 tens. And then you guys helped me put my 7 ones. And then how does this look in a word form? So here it is. Ms. Maldonado wrote it for you now. The 157. And then we're gonna practice our word in our expanded form today as well. So you guys saw how I wrote it in our digital. So here I put the 100 plus the 50 plus the 7. And so that gave me 157. And look, 100 up here, 5 tens and our 7 ones. So we are going to do another number together. But this time I have a different one. I don't have 100 anymore. I have 200. So I'm gonna think, okay, so if I have 200s, then I need 2 flats, okay? And that is my 200 right here. Then I look at my next number, and that is in my tens place. So I know I need 6 tens or 6 rods. I'm gonna put them up here. I'm just gonna drag them. I'm gonna go 1, 2, and if I wanna count by tens, guess what, it's better, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. And then my ones, I look at my ones and I need 2 ones. So I need to put my 2 ones up here. 1 and 2. All right, so I already modeled my number. Now I need to write my number in word form. So I'm going to go ahead and write it down. This time I'm gonna write it with my pen. So I'm gonna go ahead and go 200. Sorry. 62. And you know what? If our pen doesn't look very good because it doesn't give me my feature, I can click text and I can type it. For those of you that are saying, I can't read this, it's okay. We will type it. 262. There we go. Okay, so how we would write our 262 in expanded form? Okay, well, let's look at what we have, especially focusing on our vocabulary. We have 2 flats, which are hundreds. So I'm gonna put it here, which is 2 of my hundreds, 2 hundreds. Plus, I had 5 rods, which is, I'm sorry, 6, which is 60, counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I'm gonna put my 60 there. And then I have 2 ones. And all of those gave me 262. And that is what we called our expanded form. All right, you guys saw me model 1. I went through my thinking. So what I'm gonna have you guys do, it's now you guys are gonna help me with this next one.
We are having a lot of questions about the Zoom tools.
About that, yes, and please save your questions for that because we're gonna show you where to find answers for all of those, I promise you.
Writing all of your stuff down, I promise.
Yes, and we're gonna show you right now. We are not gonna leave you hanging, trust me. And it takes time to practice. You see me struggling right now, so I am not the perfect person. I've used this a lot too. So
we've only done this 3 or 4 times, but you know, it takes practice.
It does. And I was teaching this summer. I use a lot of these tools with my students, so it still takes practice. So yes, we will promise we will answer all of your questions, especially with those annotation tools, which are really cool, by the way. All right, so now I'm gonna have you guys come back as my students, and I'm gonna have you guys help me out, because now this is a we do, so all of us do it. I'm gonna have you help me out. I have this number over here. I have 432. Goodness gracious, I have a bigger number. So what can I put in my hundreds? What would I call that? How many do I need? I see 4 flats. 4 flats, yes. Perfect, thank you. I'm gonna listen to all of you. I'm gonna put 4 flats. If somebody disagrees, you can unmute yourself and say, I disagree because, and tell me why. So we have 1 flat, 2 flats, 3 flats, and 4 flats. And guess what? I'm gonna count them by 100 because they're flats, but they're hundreds. So it's 100, 200, 300, 400, and I think our number is 400. Great job. Okay, let's look at our tens. How many do I need? I'm gonna start looking at your tens. Yes, 3 rods, 3 tens, yes. Perfect, 3 rods, 3 tens, thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them here. 10, 20, and 30. Good, and look, it is 3 right here, 30. Okay, so now looking at our ones, how many do I need? I will be reading them. See I see 2 units, 2 cubes, 2 small cubes, thank you, 2. Yes, so let's go ahead and put them here, 2, 1, and 2. Now, here's the cool thing about this. Ready? Do you see where it says Ms. Maldonado is sharing her screen? Right next to it, you have something called viewing options. I'm only gonna ask one person and let me pick that person. And please, I hope you don't mind me selecting you right now. But Cecilia, do you see that? So Ms. Maldonado, next to Ms. Maldonado, you see viewing options. If you click on it, you will see something called annotating. Can you click on the annotating? And those of you that are listening, you can try and see if you can click.
No, I don't see it. Show me one. Wait, let me go back. I was on the screen. Show me one more time.
So you see where it says, Ms. Maldonado, you're sharing your screen, that little green at the top where it says, I'm sharing my screen? Next
Share
to it,
screen?
not your share screen, my share screen. You'll see the little green share screen. Next to it, it says viewing options. And some people found it. Yay, whoever found it, you're phenomenal. Yes.
I guess I'm not. Thanks, Claudia.
No, but you know what? No, here's the thing is that kids will be listening and they'll try it. Look, somebody's already highlighting. You're awesome. I just want all of you guys to listen to see where we're going to find those tools. But it is where it says sharing screen right next to it. There, look at you. There is some annotating tools, and that's when we are going to have the kids practice. So I was going to have Cecilia practice, but whoever did the 400, now can you help us and do the expanded form? That is so cool. You guys are awesome. And
I
if
don't
you
know,
haven't
Claudia.
found them, don't worry. Don't worry, don't worry. We're practicing because you're helping me. Okay, so whoever typed, there you go. So see, we have a 400 plus a 2, and that gave us equal to, thank you. There's Cecilia. See, now you're practicing.
Oh.
Yes. Teachers, as you guys,
I am failing forward. Just for you, Claudia.
No, thank you. And thank you for those of you that are trying it, because once you tell the kids, all the kids will try this and they want to annotate. I'm going to tell you something right now. I let them. The next time I say, this is an incentive. You're going to write for Ms. Maldonado today. It's going to be an incentive, and we're going to do it together. And this motivates the kids, trust me, to write with you. You have no idea. It's the best sticker you can ever give them. It's letting them annotate. And then it tells you who's annotating in there as well. Okay. So you as a teacher, if you want to monitor and see, perfect. See, you guys are awesome. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close your tools because we got to move on to our next one. But yes, keep writing. And we're actually going to move here. And now you see how everything moved with me. You as the teacher, you can go ahead and hit clear all drawing, and it's all gone. I know, that's the only bad thing. It's gone. And people keep typing, thank you. But this one, we're going to do one more because this one Ms. Maldonado has to do, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and now look at this one right here. I have 803. Whew, that is a big number, 803. And I want to ask, how many hundreds do I need? Again, I'm going to go ahead and shrink this one so I can have enough space to put all my hundreds. So it looks like I need 8. So I have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. Can you guys see all my 800s there? A lot of them, right? Whew. Let's look at our tens. I look at my tens and I see 0. So guess what, boys and girls? I'm gonna leave it blank because I don't have no tens whatsoever. I have to look at my next digit or my next number, which is 3. And it is my 3 ones. So it is okay if we don't put anything on that place value, because if we have a 0, we don't put anything. So we have our 3 ones. Okay. So those of you that were helping me with the word form and annotating, since you found the tools, I'm going to have one more person, this time one person. If you're brave enough, if you can type it in word form. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Yes, thank you. All right. Okay, so my
I
next
got it.
one, I saw it. Thank you. You're awesome. So my next one, I'm going to annotate. And guess what? This time I'm just going to type it. So we have 800 plus, we have 0 ones. I mean 0 tens. Sorry, boys and girls, 0 tens. And then we have our 3 ones, which again, it would give us 803 in our standard form. But I don't know if you guys remember earlier how I said we had 800 plus 0 tens plus our 3 ones. Okay, so now we wrote it in our standard form. Here's the beauty of this. Now you get to practice. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is you are going to get into your breakout rooms and you guys are gonna go into another Jamboard that is a little bit different than the ones you have used. And let me show you very quickly. And in that Jamboard, depending on what breakout session you are in, this is very important for you guys to see this right now, okay? Because we're gonna go ahead and practice this one together. If I'm on breakout room number 1, I'm only gonna use that slide. Look, I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna expand it, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Depending on the breakout room that I put you in, that is the one you're gonna be working with your groups. Because we are limited teachers, I'm only asking maybe 1 person or 2 people from your group to do it with you guys, okay? And you guys are gonna have time to go ahead and model this for me. The cool thing about Jamboard, we modeled before, you can use the pen. If you click on it, it gives you options for pen, gives you options for color. You don't wanna use the pen, you can use the Post-it. Sorry, I went in here. On my left hand, I have all my little tools for Jamboard. I can go Post-it, sticky note, and I can write whatever I want on my sticky note to show it, okay? So I'm gonna put you in breakout rooms before you start working on it because I want you to work with your groups today, okay? So please allow me. I'm gonna open up all the breakout rooms and then we'll share the Jamboard link on there. Ready? Join. Pam, do you access the Jamboard this time? Oh, you're still muted. I'm sorry.
I still have a message that says I need to wait to be assigned to a room.
Oh, I
I
am
haven't been assigned.
so sorry. Okay, I will assign you guys right now. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you for letting me know. I should have paid attention over here.
It says
Okay.
wait to be assigned. Okay,
Yeah,
now I'm in
there
room
you go.
7.
All righty. Thank
7.
you. Yes. See you guys in a little bit.
Claudia, is there a way you can put me? Oh, okay. I'm going to breakout room now. Okay, I was in
Yeah.
14. I accidentally
Alrighty.
left.
I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm being called for
Okay.
help.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi, we don't have a link.
to the Jamboard.
We don't have anything in our chat.
Okay, I'll give it to you right now. Let me go ahead and copy the link. And the good thing about it is like you're pressing help, you will know, your kids will call you for help. Okay, I'm putting it right now and there it is. That is your Jamboard link. And then only one person in the team can go and then the other ones are helping.
Oh, okay.
Who shared their screen last time?
Well, I'm not in the same room with the same people. I'm
No,
in a
it's
different room.
Yeah, it's a different people. Melissa or Andrea, if you guys like, one of you guys can share your screen and while you guys are working in a group, because I gave access for everyone to share their screens.
Okay, I can go ahead and share it.
Perfect, excellent. And then you guys can collaborate and work together as a group. You're awesome, see? Now you guys can share your screens. Nice. All right, if you guys need my help, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Hi.
Ignore that lady.
How do you find the Jamboard? I couldn't find the Jamboard.
So if you go to the chat, I just shared that link with you guys.
Oh.
Okay, and if you click on it, now here's the beauty. One of you guys can share your screen while the other ones are collaborating. You have access. I gave everybody access to share their screen. So if you go under share, you can share your Jamboard screen and everybody else can see it in your group,
I don't even see where we have access on the chat.
I don't either.
I can't even get to chat.
It's fine. So on your Zoom, if you go down to your little tool Zooms where you see your little reactions and stuff, if you click on chat.
No, I have my chat open, but I don't see the link.
Oh, I just shared it right now. It says Claudia Maldonado just shared the link with everyone. No?
No.
Okay.
The last one I have is from Marina and it says, thanks, Nicole.
Okay, let me try one more time. There it is.
There we go. Okay.
Hey, awesome. Now I realized that if I share it, doesn't share to everyone, but for this group only, because I shared that with someone else earlier. Okay, so now you guys click on it, you're on breakout room number 9, and that's the work you're doing right now. I'll see you guys in a little bit. You guys come collaborate together.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Hi, how are you doing? Were you guys successful with the Jamboard?
Well, ours didn't have anything on it, but we talked about how we would model it. And
You don't have a slide 14?
There's a 14 that it's blank.
Okay, I can fix that right away. That is no problem. I know you guys will talk about it, but because we have 40 something people, we have to, try to make the best of it. But with kids, you will have no problem whatsoever with this.
Oh, no
When
worries.
you're in group 1, they know you're there in group 1. All right, so you are number 14, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we are 7, 8. I see 8 is blank, 9. Some people are, okay. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate 8.
No.
It's the fun part. It's that I duplicate 8 and I'm gonna move it all the way to my people who are having trouble over here. That becomes 11. I will duplicate 12. And now my duplicate 13. You see that? Now you guys are seeing it, and I duplicated to 14. So there you go. Now you have it.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so awesome. Thank you for letting me know. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Welcome back. Welcome back. And we'll wait as everybody's just joining us back. I probably ended it too soon, but first time with students, it's probably gonna take you 20 minutes. It takes a little while, but welcome back. Hopefully you guys had a chance to play with it.
We couldn't figure anything out on ours, so it was blank. And we couldn't figure out how to get the board over there or where the manipulatives were.
And so what I realized another group had the same issue, and I went and made some duplicates, and then I'll show you guys what I did. I'm gonna model right now what I did. But if you guys didn't have access because it was blank or something, I'll show you how we can fix that. And it would happen because our kids would play with it and they will be able to duplicate. And when they duplicate blank pages. And so it happens a lot. And we can delete them as well. Nothing bad because we want them to work. So let me share my screen so I can show you guys what I did with the Jamboard when I duplicated. You guys can see I have 13. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you very quickly because I want you guys to actually explain to me what you did, okay? So here's all my groups, group 1, group 2. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go to one that is blank. So you guys can see I'm on 5, right? I'm moving along. 6, here's 5, 6. Here's group 7. And if we look at group 8 is blank because probably they work in another one. But let's say as a teacher, if this was blank and a student is in group 9 and they don't have anything, you would go here to these 3 little dots, click on it. Sorry, it doesn't let me duplicate because we have more than 20 open. I realize that. I have to delete. See all the ones I have to delete now because we duplicated. So guess what? I go back, delete, go back, delete, delete all the blank ones. Okay, so all my blank ones are gone. So see, I'm on 13, right? Or 14, let's say 14. And I want to duplicate because they need a one that doesn't have the manipulatives. Click on my 3 little dots. Instead of delete, I hit duplicate and guess what? It duplicates that slide with all the manipulatives. You only make one and they hit duplicate multiple times. Okay, just wanted to show you guys the little cool feature, but now that you guys work in groups, I am going to go ahead and ask some of you guys to come and help me and support me. I know group 1 did something, so I am gonna call on group 1, which is my chat group number 1. And I want you guys to tell me what you did and how you guys came up with your answer.
There was a small problem because I was in group 1, but there was several different groups working on slide 1.
Okay.
So we kept deleting theirs and trying to put ours, and it just, yeah.
You know how it alleviates the problem? I think I did that in 4th grade today. I figure I have to do the same thing here. And I will fix it for my next group. Sorry, teachers. But next time I'm gonna put here group 1, okay? Sorry. So, but anyways, group 1, would you wanna share with us what you guys were trying to do? And I would highly encourage you guys trying to use our sentence.
We had somebody in our group, we, put the flats, didn't require rods, and the one squares, I forget what you call them, put them in the right place. And then she used a text box, type it in Word form. And then same thing with the expanded form. And we didn't get to the sentence frame, but we, went on to talk about, teaching this in small group. And so learned how to manipulate it. So
yes. Thank you. Yes, definitely. All right. I see somebody from group 2 did something. You guys from group 2, you did. So anybody from group 2 that would like to share with us what you did? And again, let me put my sentence frame up here. So you can use this. I know blank has blank, hundreds, blank, tens, and blank ones. So anybody from group 2, you can unmute yourself. And if you forget if you were in group 2, this is the best thing I can do. Ready? Breakout rooms. In group 2, I have Anna, Jenny, or Rosemary. Does any of you would like to share with us?
Sure, I'll share. Can you show me the sentence frame again?
Yes, no problem.
I know 508 has 5 hundreds, 0 tens, and 8 ones. We had a question. In the Word form or in the expanded form, is there a way for us to type instead of doing the handwriting? How do we get there?
Yes, so in Jamboard, it's not as cool as using the annotating tools from Zoom, but you can definitely click a sticky right there. Like
Okay,
I'm showing the sticky.
We did see that.
And you guys can, and you guys can write. Now, here's the cool thing. Ready? 508. You don't want it, you want it black and white. You don't want it colored. You just click right here where it says none.
Got it.
It gives it to you black and white. It still gives you a sticky though.
Oh,
and then
okay.
you can put it.
Okay.
Right there.
I wasn't sure if there was another different one. Okay.
Oh no, that's the only one we have. No problem. Yes. Thank you. Alrighty.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
I think Nicole showed me the text box. So we did the text box and we added the text box there and then we typed it.
And you are group number?
1.
Oh, okay. So you guys went back. You guys are awesome. My overachievers. Yes, they will go. The kids, once they find out, they will go back and they'll fix it. Yeah.
Well, ours is the one that was being messed with. So we didn't even, I don't even see ours in there. They deleted our stuff.
I think it got deleted after we did it.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I see. Okay, let me ask. What group work on this one right here? And I see a little face right there. Oops. Does anybody recognize this one?
We can claim that one.
Okay.
That was group 4, Claudia.
Okay, group 4. Go ahead and tell us what you did. And here's my frame.
So I was part of group 4.
Yes.
and we did the icon movement, right, to show the model picture. And then we both did below the sticky note. Yeah.
Your 508 with your sticky notes? Yeah, look.
Yeah, I wondered if there was a way, Claudia, though, to send just a quick question, to send it to that particular group, because it was really kind of tricky, like finding the slide 4. Or excuse me, finding on Jamboard slide 4. Is there a way to link that to individual breakout rooms?
Not in that, no. It would be using the expanded. So I would teach this a lot. Like, here, boys and girls, we're gonna click. You see the little numbers up here? Now, when I put you in that room, that's the slide I want you to click. So if I click on the slide 6, I know that's the one I'm gonna be working on. That's the only way, but it doesn't have for you individually. I would probably, one thing I would modify and change now that I know this, I would put the group number up here. So they know what group number they're on.
Okay.
So they don't mess with somebody else's. But yes, good question. All right, teachers, for time wise, we are gonna start wrapping our lesson. So today we did our lesson and you fell forward and you attempted, you guys did wonderful. You collaborated with your teams. But one thing I want you guys to show me is how do you behave like a mathematician? Okay. We have more mathematical practice. You can choose one if you like, and then type it on the chat and let me know.
We have crickets, Claudia. We have crickets.
I know, they're reading, they're reading.
They're like, we're tired. They're like,
I know,
I think we
it's
overwhelmed
late.
their brain.
I know, and so, but some of them are reading, they're reading and they can type how you behave. Like a mathematician, just one, you don't need to pick all of them, just one thing you did.
Elaborate.
We collaborated, we justified, yes.
Find a different path when the first way doesn't work.
Asking questions, yes, asking questions, that's right.
Clarifying questions.
Yes. Yes.
New technology, yes.
Yes, fell forward a lot. Explain the answer. Yes. Definitely. Good,
And
good.
ladies, the joy, and gentlemen, the joy of this is that they don't know if we mess up on Jamboard because they've never used it before.
Yes.
So if we mess up, they won't know. It's okay.
Yes. Yes.
Same thing with Padlet. It's going to be new to them. They're 3rd grade. Just be like, oh, that's right. I have summer brain.
Yes, I see challenge solutions by looking back at the problem over. Yes. Use these objects, the manipulative, the virtual manipulatives. Yes. Okay, teachers. So when you meet with your students, they're going to meet, you're going to teach your 60 minutes of math. They're going to log out, go to lunch, and then you're going to bring them back and do that small group instruction. This is just an example of how you can create your small group instruction for those activities when you have them come back. So for example, you know, now I'm going to differentiate. I know a lot of students didn't know how to use that Jamboard, and I have a group of students that just couldn't, you know, move the little, you know, the hundreds where they go or the tens where they go and the ones. So I would say, okay, I'm going to have a small group working with Ms. Maldonado. We're going to practice writing word form and expanded form, and we're going to use vocabulary, and we're going to use some activities that I will just create specific for that group. While the rest of you, I have some of you that are going to be working in independent work. So that's your must do. And when you guys finish, you can submit your answers on the Google Classroom because that's where it will be linked. Some of you guys use a lot of the Google Forms. So when you give a student a worksheet to do independently like this one, you can create a Google form where they can submit the answers as well if you want, okay? Or you can give it to them on their Google Classroom for each one of them to have their own copy, and they can work on it and submit it. A may do would be like practicing, when you finish, practice using those digital place value charts to show different numbers, you know, things like that. And then, you know, a catch up where you can catch up on any missing assignments. And this is just a little idea to give you guys as the students come back the second time and you want to modify, kind of bring it back to what you used to do in your classroom with the must-dos and may-dos and the catch-ups. Okay, so my model lesson, it's done. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Craig.
All righty. Oh, let me go back. Share my screen. See, gotta remember to do that part. All right, so now that you've seen the lesson that we designed and then Claudia modeling that lesson that we designed, just real quick in the chat, what is something that you think you would use in your classroom this fall? What are some things that maybe you would like to try out? If you could put that in the chat room, that would be great. And for time-wise, I'm probably gonna move on because we did have questions I wanted to get to before we end. So I don't want to hold you guys past your time because I do have another training at 3. So just put those in the chat, please, and Claudia will look at those. This, for time purposes, this is an amazing article. I really suggest you read it, and I'm not telling you that as one more thing to do. It is really a good article. It is just different ideas on how you can increase engagement while you are teaching virtually. You're like, you know what, I've used Jamboard so much. What is something else I can do? This article is amazing ideas if you're just trying to come up with some ways that work for you. So it's linked on the end of the presentation as well. So, and might be linked there. So it's linked at the end of the presentation if you want to take a look at that at your own time. The big question you guys are asking, where can I find that lesson that Claudia was showing us? This lesson right here that we showed you guys earlier. This is in the EdTech Center. So if you click on it, it will take you to the website that our tech team has worked on for months. And it is a great resource. You will go to the purple button, grade level lessons, your grade level. And here you will see your first 3 days of instruction, SEL, math, ELA, and dual immersion. So if you go to the math, since we love you guys so much, we created 5 weeks where other grades only have 4. So you'll see all the lessons.
Don't tell them.
Yeah, we were nice and created an extra week for you. So Claudia modeled week 2. Here is the prerequisite lesson for 2nd grade. And so you'll see all the standards. And this is definitely, I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I have to do this by yourself. No, Claudia and I worked on this together for hours. So it was not, I did not do it by myself. Claudia did not do it by herself. We did it together. So it is going to be very important for you to work in your PLC team to get this done after week 5. And I like to think of us all as 3rd grade, and we are all PLC team members. So if one of you create something, share, and we can share as a whole district. And that will make all of our lives easier. So you would just click on it. Here, this is what's cool. If you scroll down to the Drive folder, you will see the slide in here. But if you go back to the lesson plan and you click on it, if it ever opens, you'll see the lesson plan as well on here. And it has, and this is the full week, Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
The only week that does not have 5 days is the week that would be Labor Day week.
Labor Day, yeah.
Yeah, so that Labor Day. So you will see them all down here. So it's pretty awesome, I have to tell you. So if you click on week 1 at the top, you'll still see that same lesson for week 1, but then they also added, here's all the teacher resources on here, so you don't actually have to click on the lesson. And also here's all the links for the student end. Yes. That was Claudia was showing you at the very end, where we had resources down here at the bottom. This is already linked for you on the bottom for you, so you don't have to actually go into the document. So
Ms. Craig, yes. We had some people asking a lot about Zoom. So can you go to the left hand and click on Zoom also? So we can show them all the videos they have for Zoom.
Yes, I'm gonna go back to here.
Mm-hmm.
So how-to tutorials for kids, here's Zoom. here's all this stuff.
So those little tools that you guys were asking about how to use, guess what?
It's on the Ed Tech Center, minimize, how to minimize. And if you go to the tech session or can't go, they show you how to look at 2 screens, and all the videos on here. They did an awesome job of recording. How to join a meeting, how to rename yourself, how to schedule. Breakout rooms. Some of you were asking, how do I do a breakout room? They made awesome videos for you guys. Closed caption for your hard of hearing students. How to record your meetings. Maybe you want to record a meeting and push it out to your students. Adding, using polls, creating a template. Tons of stuff on here for Zoom. There's also how-to tutorials for kids. Basic Chromebook skills. How to click right on the Chromebook. How to charge your Chromebook. Some things that your students might need to be pushed out to them in Google Classroom is you just literally copy and paste it in there. The other thing that I had a question on, breakout rooms is on there. I know somebody asked how to do that. Some people, okay, so like if you go on there, they should be able to show you. One of the things that I had a lot of questions about was in this presentation after the video, you'll see here's the virtual manipulatives. I put it on the additional resources. Some of us were having trouble. You're like, it has to be paid for. This is a free site. Some of you had a pink pop-up box, just close the box and you can use any of these. Like I think one of the things that I used in one of the lessons I made was dice. I click on it and it opens, and then I can, you know, have a 5, and then I can, this one takes a while, I have to tell you. I can change the color of my dice. So you can do a whole bunch of things with it. So there's a whole bunch of different manipulatives that you can use. There's pattern blocks, there's there's counters. So I can do different counters. I can take them off. So there's all of these are free for your students. There's rec and recs, there's balances, there's your base 10 blocks like we were using earlier. And Claudia, somebody asked how she put that in her slide presentation. She just took a picture of it and then linked it. So she just,
link at the top.
Yeah. So she just copied this, copy, and then she went to a slide. I'll show you because I know somebody asked and I don't want you to be like, how do I do that? Just blank presentation. She literally took a picture of it. Where is she at? Blinked. So I'm gonna take a picture of it. I just did print screen. Paste. Oops, sorry. I always want to do that on this new. I just bought a new computer that Claudia told me I could write off.
And this is how the kids can access these, Nicole? This is what you're saying when you add it to like a...
What I did is what she did was she put this in her slide, like I'm doing, like literally just took a picture of it, put it in there. And then all she did was, my Zoom thing's in the way, sorry. She just copied, highlighted, copy, and then this thing has got to go, sorry. And then she just edit, oh, insert, oh, gotta click on the picture, friends. Link, and then you see down here, I'm just gonna paste it in there and say apply. So when I present it, my kids can just click on it and it takes them right to the website.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Does that make sense? I just wanted to make sure I showed you that, because a lot of you are like, how do I do that? And I didn't want you to be like, hanging on that. So definitely Ed Tech Center, you will spend forever here, and I suggest it. There's SEL, there's so much information on here for you guys. It is definitely worth it. I think those were the only questions on those. I just want to make sure I answered those questions for you guys. Going back to our core priorities, we're still a culture of collective efficacy, still student-centered schools, all those things. I'm hoping that you feel that you can now better deliver mathematical instruction, regardless of your environment, especially virtual learning, but you have some ideas. I was telling one of my breakout groups, like doing that whole slide presentation might not work for you. For me, I'm planning on recording myself in front of my own classroom and pushing those out in videos. because I know that my students are not going to sit here for more than an hour and watch me do a lesson with them. It's just probably not going to happen for them. So I'm going to try to record and then maybe pull some things and push that out to them in Google Classroom. But if that doesn't work for you and you want to do live, then do live. It's whatever works for you. So just some ideas, like I said, we're in it together. We can bounce ideas off each other and then share as much as we can. This is a very important, here's your Jamboard to make your own Jamboard. So get started. Look at all of these jams people have already created. Here's a number line somebody already made. Here's some, kindergarten stuff. So there's a whole bunch, somebody did a thing on Outsiders Chapter 1. So you can copy all those. You can make your own. You just go to this plus sign at the bottom and be like, hey, I'm gonna make my own. And that's all I did for the one you guys had. I just chose a background and then I just put a sticky note on there. So easy enough for those. Here is the Padlet to get you started. To join your own, you can make your own. I think somebody asked me about Padlet. Oh my golly, it does not want to load. So you have different ways you can do it. So I just clicked the first one because, and you just put your title here. So I had just put math behaviors. And here was my question I asked you guys. I can change my background to whatever I want. Here is where you can change. I can turn off profanity. Instead of them putting a bad word, they put a happy face there. Here's where I can turn on comments so people can comment on each other's posts like you would in Flipgrid. I can have people like posts. So you can have all these things. Here is where you would copy it to share it. So there's a lot of things. If you have any questions about Jamboard or Padlet, I would be happy to help you. Just email me. Here's the link for the Tech Center. Here is the key essential standards we talked about, the model lesson Claudia did. Here's some ELD strategies for your ELD students, those manipulatives again, and then the research article I was talking about on ways to keep your children entertained. And lastly, the school parking lot. I know some were asking about manipulatives and math books and what are they physically going to have. Those are not the questions we have answers to. But Ms. Chapman said they are looking at every single question that you guys put on there and they are putting out a frequently asked questions page. So if your question's not on there, they're not going to know to answer it. So if you have, even if you think it's a silly question like, are we going to provide pencils? Put it on there and they will answer your question. So please make sure you access this parking lot. I only have one on there. And each session has its own parking lot. So you guys will not have the same parking lot as my session yesterday or next week. So any questions you have, or am I going to be able to have video recording equipment? Somebody asked that. Am I going to be able to be in my classroom and at home? Any of those kind of questions. Are they going to provide us, pens to write instead of using my mouse? Those are some questions that you guys could ask. Those are all things they're looking into. Can my student have their math textbook, their actual textbook? Put those on there and Ms. Chapman will answer those for you. And if you have any questions, you can click on Claudia and email her. Click on me. You can email me. It's all linked. So you guys can link on each other. Oh, why is this not moving?
So right now I'm going to share the eval link with you guys. We are in 10 minutes already, so we're at good timing. So we're going to give you 3 minutes to fill out the eval. It's coming out on the chat.
So remember, if you have any questions, please email Claudia or myself and we're happy to help. I am happy, if you're still having trouble with Zoom things, I am happy to do a private Zoom with you and to walk you through that. If you're still having trouble with Jamboard or any of those things, I am more than willing to get on Zoom and help you and do all those things with you. We're together, we'll learn together. It's okay. Don't stress. Fill out your eval, please. And then the presentation, her model lesson, any of those things, if there's stuff that you guys liked, you guys can make a copy of it. Yeah. I know a lot of other teachers really liked her first slide on her model, or second slide I had a lot of questions yesterday about this slide right here. I'm like, make a copy and use it.
Yes.
If you like this page, make a copy and use it.
Take it. It's yours.
Just take it. Just use it. We did not create slides for you guys like this, just because we wanted you to be able to make slides or not use them. We didn't want you to feel you had to use slides. We wanted you to, you know, if you only want to push out videos and Google and you wanted to, maybe I wanted to take this and I wanted to make a copy for each student and push it out. Well, the problem is I made a copy, but I can't change them. There was one I couldn't change the number on. I couldn't change the number. If I want to change this number, I'm just going to put a white box and put a different number.
And you guys are asking about the sign out. Yes, we're giving you 3 minutes to do the eval, sorry. And what sign out is coming up. And don't leave without the sign out.
So a lot of these things, you guys can just put a new text box over it and cover it up and then use it again. I do that a lot. So if you find something online, you're like, oh, I don't like that number, just put a white text box over it. Copy and paste is your friend, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here comes your sign out. So give me a second. I will send the sign out link, the blue one, so you can just click on it. Give me 1 second. There it is.
And have a great school year. We can do it. Woo, woo.
Yes. So when you guys get your sign out, you guys are free to go. Thank you. Unless you want to stay and ask us some questions.
2021, we can do it.
Thank you.
Come on, I need some pumped upness. New school year, we're going to be awesome. We can do it. We're all amazing educators. We can do it. Come on. Have any questions? Even if you just want to like, whoo, I'm overwhelmed. It's okay. Email me. We all are. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I think I was logged on, I think for all the ones I've been on, to my personal account with Zoom, but I'm in Google on everything else with BCSD. So do I just need to, are they checking our Zoom links that it has to be our BCSD email?
You know what? Here's my recommendation. If you are going to create Zoom links for your students and you do it under the BCSD, then what's going to happen is you're going to have access to the pro tools, like all the tools that you saw me use. But if you log into your personal one, you're very limited to only 1 hour and you don't have access to all the tools. So
yes,
you guys
I
will get
understand that. I understand that. I'm talking about today when I logged in. I think it's okay.
Yeah,
okay.
No. As long as you're able to sign out and do the eval.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Yes, I know for everything school, creating them, I always make sure, but today it just popped in. Thank you.
Now you're good. You sign out, you're good. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry, you said we can leave once we're signed out and
make sure you sign out so you can get paid, please. Gotta get that money.
I just did that. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
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 Have a great day. Thank you, ladies. I'll be emailing you.
Yes, yes.
That's funny. Someone's asking if you graduated from Arvin. I did too. That's why we get along.
1993. There you go.
I was 99. My brother is 95.
You guys are babies.
Oh, no. Look at all this hair. No.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Hey, can we still, a question.
Yeah.
Can we, I did the tech one, but they would only let me do it was full. They would only let me do the introductory tech. So I know I won't get paid for it, but is it somewhere recorded so I can go watch the other one?
So what's happening is all of the
They're supposed to all be recorded, right?
Yeah.